What's up, guys? CJ here, and welcome back to episode 110 of Super Friends. I'm joined, as always, by the usual suspects, Tim.
How's it going, everyone?
And Luke.
Hey, guys.
So, the Comic-Con experience was this past weekend in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's a big, huge thing every year. This year was especially huge. They had all of these folks down there. I think the DCEU team was largely up in Long Island for Ace Comic-Con. But, I mean, you had a whole thing from Fox. You did have a DC panel. It was really big, and they unveiled, kind of like they did at San Diego, the new quote unquote slate. Basically, they showed title cards for a bunch of movies, back to back to back, set to music, really epic. And this was big at San Diego because everyone was like, "Holy shit, this is the future." Well, it turns out CCXP did the exact same thing, and when I say the exact same thing, I mean it was the exact same slate except for one minor difference. So they released all of these, the title card for Aquaman, the title card for Wonder Woman, the title card for Flashpoint, Justice League Dark, Suicide Squad 2, Shazam, Green Lantern Corps, and The Batman, and as well as Batgirl. So the big takeaways from that: no Cyborg in there. Cyborg wasn't in that is the exact same slate as they revealed at SDCC. So no Cyborg movie,
it's a brand new
no
slate.
Justice League 2, same as the old slate, The slate is dead, long live the slate. So no Cyborg, no Justice League 2, no Gotham City Sirens or Harley Quinn solo movie, no Harley Joker team-up movie, no Deadshot, no Deathstroke, no Black Adam, none of that. No Nightwing, worth pointing out. But the only major change to the slate, and I say major because it's the only change, was the fact that Wonder Woman, the one we saw at SDCC, very clearly said Wonder Woman 2. This one apparently just said Wonder Woman, and I've seen outlets taking this to mean that it's probably not going to be called Wonder Woman 2 Electric Boogaloo. It might just be Wonder Woman Electric Boogaloo.
Wonder Woman 2 Pig in the City.
Basically. Oh my god. All right, but we do so no Wonder Woman 2, just Wonder Woman. So any thoughts on the new slate and the fact that it hasn't changed in the wake of Justice League?
I mean, I guess it's good that they're finally sticking to their guns on something.
I mean, Savage, first of all.
Well, it's just because it was, so up in the air for so long, and they kept announcing stuff, and, we finally got the slate at SDCC, after, a year or so of them, adding and changing stuff, and now it seems like they're, finally sticking to something and not adding more stuff in.
And I think that's a good thing, without a doubt. I kind of like that it's the same. It's a confidence move, of course. So here's the skinny. I mean, they probably were planning this for a while. I wouldn't expect any changes to the slate until the new head of DC Films is appointed, which is set to, be sometime in January, or by January, I should say. So things are going to start changing around then. Until then, I think we're basically kind of status quo, kind of limbo status. No clue exactly what's going on, or they could hire somebody that scraps everything. They could hire somebody that wants to keep the ball rolling. We just don't know at this point. Luke, any thoughts on the new slate, same as the old slate?
I'm more concerned why this has been headlines for a few websites when this is the exact same thing. I understand the whole thing of announcing stuff, and there's some projects that aren't there, but it's the exact same one. Why are we doing this?
It really is.
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
I mean, I think it's just the fact that it's a question. It was in question after Justice League suffered the fate that it suffered. So I get why it's a story. I don't think it's being framed properly because everyone's calling it, new slate. Hey, the new Warner Brothers slate, and it's not new. It's literally the old slate with one really, really, really minor change. The next Wonder Woman movie isn't going to be a reboot of the first Wonder Woman movie.
They're just going to release the first Wonder Woman again.
Director's cut.
That one did well. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
The special edition. It now runs at 60 frames.
How do we work Chris Pine back into the film? Just redo the film.
And we, of course, add in giant lizards in the front of the frame.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I was really surprised that they weren't in the movie the first time around. The other big thing, I guess, to reference with this is, all the exclusions. We see, Batgirl's still in there, even though there's some drama about the fact that Joss Whedon might not be directing it. He probably was one of the scapegoats of this whole crisis. Batman's in there, even though Matt Reeves is still working on that, and we have zero updates there. No Gotham City Sirens, no Harley Quinn solo movie, which Margot Robbie confirmed herself just, I want to say last week or the week before. And that Harley Joker team-up movie, which has been rumored forever, not there either. So really, I mean, is there one of these movies... So of these movies that aren't even on the slate, that haven't, quote-unquote made the cut, I mean, what does that say to you? That, are they less likely to happen than the movies they announced? Or
I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to lead with stuff that they think will entice people and just keep it small so it seems more streamlined.
I definitely don't think they want to get ahead of themselves. They don't want to look like they're planning so much in advance, because then if changes do happen, it'll seem more devastating. But we'll have to see about that. Luke, what do you think? Is there any one of these that you thinks that you're thinking to yourself does get made, doesn't get made?
Justice League Dark.
Justice League Dark, the fourth film
whatever
in the
year
year
it
it's
comes
released.
out.
Whatever year it comes out. Oh my god. Still just, I mean, fantastic and hilarious at the same time.
One thing I will say about Justice League Dark compared to all the other films off the slate, it consistently puts forth the most effort to not exist.
Doing a good job. Doing a good job.
and
Stan.
Everyone else just skates by being ignored. Justice League Dark has to force itself to not make progress.
It's just going to drop all of a sudden. I mean, kind of the last thing that really struck me with this news is, if it was only the films that we knew about, in the slate, if this was the first time we were hearing about them, we'd be going crazy, And even, if we had already heard about them, but that was all, it would have been fine. And it just kind of comes back to, me, the main difference between Marvel and DC. Everyone thinks there's this, it's why don't you talk about negative Marvel news? Why don't you, why are you covering all the negative DC news? And it's the same, two sides of the same coin to me. And that's that Marvel doesn't leak things nearly this often. They don't have these leaks. They don't have, it's apparently a production assistant overhears a conversation at the DC offices, and then they run to Variety or THR and tell them, it's by the way, guys, they're working on a Black Adam movie. It's holy shit. We don't, we hear about Marvel leaks from time to time. I can remember vividly when the rumor was that Civil War was going to be Captain America 3. And then Marvel trolled everyone when they announced that by announcing originally that Captain America 3 was the Serpent Society. So it's there was no, it's just Marvel, they run a tight ship. They run a tighter ship, I think. If I was WB, I would burn it down. I would fire everybody and then, rehire people you knew would keep your mouth shut.
Fire everyone and then rehire them.
Fire everyone. Rehire everyone. Teach them a lesson.
Let them know that they're hanging by a thread.
Now
Let
next,
Tommy Wiseau run your DC universe.
you do that again next time, it'll be 3 hours that you're fired.
Basically. It's getting fired at DC is timeout.